Alright guys, I've seen a few videos on YouTube where people are trying to explain why they think everyone's leaving DC. Videos have titles like, stuff like why everyone's leaving DC basically, and titles along those lines. And a lot of these people, they're not really explaining why people are actually leaving the game. They're just explaining things that they personally oh man, versus chat or trade chat is especially hilarious today, but try to ignore it while I'm talking. Anyways. Alright. I'm gonna have to try to ignore this chat while I'm talking. Oh man. Okay, so. Oh, this fucked up my video. Okay, so anyways. They're trying to make videos of explaining why people are leaving the game, but the reasons they state are mainly things that they personally have a problem with the game. And it's not the real reasons everyone's leaving the game. The majority of these videos are made in like 2015 or 2016 or something like that, when the majority of the people started leaving the game back in 2013, you know? It was way back then that the population started to really go downhill. Basically, after Daybreak took over the game, the whole thing just went to shit. Originally, Sony owned the game, and when Sony owned the game, this game was amazing. Everyone loved it, the population was thriving. Then Daybreak took over the game, and I don't know what the hell is wrong with Daybreak, but they clearly don't know what the hell they're doing. So anyways, I'm going to try and explain the reason why people keep leaving this game, and there are a lot of reasons, but I'm going to explain the two main reasons that the DC population has dropped. Alright, now the two main reasons, back in 2013 it does make two changes to the game that really messed things up. Okay, one was they introduced weapon mastery. Now, weapon mastery on its own isn't that bad. The problem is that it was really overpowered, and because it was so overpowered, like fighting just became stupid because you can just spam weapon mastery and kill people. But I really wasn't really around when they introduced weapon mastery because it took a break for a few months. But then when I came back in, I saw the population had dropped. I'm like, what the hell happened? Why is there no one in this game anymore? And then people were explaining to me, oh yeah, they introduced weapon mastery and stuff. I was like, oh god. So they introduced like this weapon mechanic that really nobody really wanted. No one really cared about it. Like, there's really no reason to introduce this thing. But they introduced it anyways because they wanted to spice things up, I guess. But what weapon mastery ultimately did is it broke PvP. They introduced this thing without actually testing it out first. Maybe they did test it out and they just didn't care, I don't know. But when they introduced it, it broke PvP, and then suddenly you're playing a game where none of the counters worked. You know, you try and you'd literally, someone would be blocking like this, and in order to break their block, you'd have to literally BB them 3 times. And it's not till the 3rd time that the block actually broke. So PvP was just broken. You couldn't play PvP at all because it was a disaster. It was horrible. Nothing worked. Nothing worked. So because of that, a lot of people started leaving the game. And it took them 2 years to fix the damn thing. And even now, it's still not completely fixed. Well, it's kinda, people still say that's broken, but that's because the devs, they actually want PvP to work the way it does now, which is stupid. But anyways, so they broke PvP. And when they did that, all the veteran players left the game. All the old guys who have been playing this game for years, who spent a ton of money in this game, they all started leaving, right? So all the old players are leaving. But you'd think that wouldn't be that big a problem as long as there's new players coming into the game, right? Well, the devs decided to make another genius decision. And their second genius decision was, let's make it So new players can't start in PvP phase. Oh, okay. So what you did is, you drove all the old players out, so they would stop playing PvP phase, right? And then all the old guys started leaving PvP phase altogether. And then, you made it so new players can't join PvP phase. Now, imagine I owned a store. Let's say I own a Walmart. Alright, and I got all these like loyal customers coming who are in the store. But then I do something to make those customers upset, and then all those customers leave the store. And as they're leaving the store through the exit, I decide, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna lock the entrance. So that way nobody can come into the store. Now if nobody can come into the store, and all the old shoppers are now leaving the store, eventually that store is going to be empty, right? Yeah, welcome to PvP phase. So all the old players all left, and there aren't any new players coming in. A lot of the people who start playing the game, they start in PvE phase, and if you want to know what's wrong with starting in PvE phase, go watch my video titled why people should start in, or why the devs should let people start in PvP phase, or why the devs should let people level in PvP phase. Alright? Go watch that video and you'll see exactly why it is that letting or forcing people to level in PvP phase or PvE phase is killing the game. Alright? So those are the two main changes they made that killed the population in DC. And the population has been going down ever since. Now what else is wrong with this game? Sorry about that. What else is wrong with this game, right? I have a fucking list. I wrote a goddamn list of all the things that I could think of that are wrong with this game. And if there's anything you guys can think of to add to the list, please comment below. I'd love to hear it, alright? I really would. If I missed anything, please add it below, okay? Because this is a long list, but I'm sure I probably missed something. Okay. You have the invis glitch, okay? You have this invisibility glitch, where when you go into arenas and you go into PvP, what happens? One of the other teammates, or sometimes you, are invisible, and the other team can't even see you. Like, what the hell? So you'll be fighting someone you literally can't even see. And the devs still haven't fixed this. It still happens from time to time. I've actually not seen it happen recently, but I've heard people telling me that it's still going on and still happening. Alright. Another thing is, I wonder if I have PvP gear. Well, see this trinket? Now this isn't really a reason why people are leaving the game, but it's something that's really stupid that the devs did, that they need to fix. So I just used my trinket, right? For some reason, in open world, you're not allowed to use your PvP trinket. Now what the fuck is that? Why is it, if I'm on a PvP character, in open world, and I got PvP gear, I'm not able to use my PvP trinket? You know? I'm getting attacked by... Ah no, don't fall, there's enemies down there. I'm getting attacked by enemies, and I get knocked down. I'd love to use my trinket to break out and get back up on my feet, but wouldn't you know it, they won't let you use your PvP trinket in open world. Now I don't know if they did that on purpose. If they did it on purpose, then the devs are idiots. Well, the devs are idiots, that goes without question, but they're even dumber than I thought if that's the case. Or they did it by accident and they just haven't realized that you can't use your PvP trinket. In which case, that still basically qualifies them as being idiots, because they don't even notice that you can't even use this trinket in PvP phase, right? You can't use it in open world at all. You can't use PvP trinkets in open world, period. Not in PvE phase, not in PvP phase. It's retarded. So why are you doing that? Like, why, devs? Why are you making it so that people can't? I don't know if I should block that, guys. Maybe I will. Okay, so I don't know if it's right for you guys to see his PlayStation name, because then you might end up adding him as a friend or something, and he won't want that, so I'm gonna have to blur that out. I'm probably gonna put a big black bar there or something, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, you can't use your PvP trinket. Damn it, you guys need to stop talking. You're giving away your PlayStation gamer tag for everyone to see you. No. Anyways, so moving on. Can't use PvP trinket in open world at all. Stupid. Another thing is, let's see. I wrote the stupid content down because I did not get this feat. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, this character, I never play as him, right? Anyways, so they're constantly coming out with new content, right? And it's always PvE content. They don't come out with PvP content. There's no new PvP content, so every time they come out with new PvE content, they have to come out with new gear to go with that content. So PvE is constantly getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Meanwhile, PvP is just staying the same. I wanted to jump. That wasn't a jump. So PvP is just getting, at this point, PvE gear can literally one-shot someone who's full PvP gear, and it should never be like that. It should have never been like that. There's no reason for a PvE character or someone who's in PvE gear to be stronger than someone in PvP gear, right? So that's stupid. Anyways, next is, this game used to be about rock, paper, scissors. Now what that means is trolls were able to beat healers. Healers were tank killers. They could kill tanks, and tanks would kill trolls. That's how it worked. Rock, paper, scissors. But the devs made it so that healers can no longer debuff tanks. Another feat. I'm just getting feats today. Okay, so they made it so healers can't debuff tanks, which is stupid, because now fire tanks and like atomic tanks, but fire tanks specifically, are the most powerful. It's the most powerful power in the whole game. Tanks are stronger than everything else. Why? Because you can't debuff them. In order to debuff them, you have to literally get debuff grenades. Now I'm not sure why the devs did that. Maybe it's because you kind of need to be legendary in order to make debuff grenades, because you have to like get the supplies and craft them. So maybe it's their way of trying to get money. So that way, in order for you to fight fire tanks, you have to fucking buy legendary membership just to be able to kill a goddamn tank. Like, what the hell are you doing, DC? But anyways, in the old days, healers could debuff tanks and you could just kill a tank. And one of the biggest things they did was take away the debuffs that healers had in order to debuff a tank. Now you can't debuff tanks anymore. So fire tanks are the strongest. It used to be healers beat tanks, tanks beat trolls, trolls beat healers, healers beat tanks, right? So there's this balance. Now it's tanks beat everyone, so everyone's getting their butt kicked by tanks. Where's the balance? Anyways, there is none. So I talked about debuffing tanks, rock, paper, scissors, right? Broken PvP counters, right? The broken PvP counters. This is horrible. I'm gonna show you. Watch this. Okay, so here I am. I'm BBing, right? You see that thing? What is it? Brainiac? I don't care what zone I'm in. Shut up. Okay, so you see the thing above my head? Right? Try and get so you can see it perfectly clear. Brainiac. So there we go. This, you see the thing above my head? It's interruptible. right? That lets people know